Tonight, a pivotal second quarter across Disney parks with major developments now unfolding across multiple resorts and long-term projects beginning to shift from concept into reality.
We're tracking significant movement behind the scenes at Walt Disney Imagineering, where long-running projects are entering new phases, construction is accelerating across key domestic parks, and familiar experiences are beginning to evolve in ways guests will notice soon.
We also have confirmed updates this quarter on several guest-facing experiences, from seasonal entertainment changes to major refurbishments and long-anticipated attraction overhauls now officially moving forward.
And later, we'll break down what's driving a wave of speculation across the community, from new technology patents to expansion chatter and international resort rumors that continue to build momentum.
This is the State of the Kingdom Address, a quarterly report on Disney parks and Imagineering, where nothing stays still very long.
My fellow Imaginidiots, the State of the Kingdom begins right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the State of the Kingdom. It is Q2 of 2026, and as always, Disney parks are not exactly standing still. If anything, it feels like you're moving faster than we can keep up with. I'm Katie, joined by my fellow reporters, Stephen and Jenny. Hi, idiots.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
It's good. I'm glad to be back. We haven't done one of these in a while.
I know, I miss it.
It's been
These
a
are one
whole
of my
quarter.
favorite. I know.
That's too long.
Wow.
I know it. Well, I think it's safe to say that Walt Disney World is in full dump truck mode
Dump
right
truck.
now.
Dumping
Not
that
to be
truck.
confused with my silhouette in a pair of tight pants.
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of dump trucks today.
That
Okay.
sure is.
Okay.
Well, honestly, at this point, it's hard to go anywhere in the parks without seeing a construction wall, except Epcot. Maybe I'll move there.
Yeah.
For a
Let's
change.
see that for you.
Yeah. And that's really the theme this quarter. We're in a very active transition period. Some experiences are closing, others are going down for major renovations, and in a lot of cases, we're watching entire new lands and ideas start to physically emerge in real time. And of course, just to acknowledge it up front, we are recording this as close to release as humanly possible, which also means we are fully aware that within hours of us finishing, Disney will most likely announce approximately 100 new things that we didn't know we needed, but they felt we had to miss out on it for this. So, yep.
Every single time.
Yep, without fail.
Yep, without fail. Well, with that in mind, we're sticking to what we do know as of right now, and we're breaking everything down into 3 sections. First, announcements. Official updates from Disney, confirmed changes, timelines, closures, and anything formally on the record.
Second, we'll jump into construction updates. What's physically happening in the parks right now? What's visible, rising, what's actively changing if you were there today?
And third, rumors, the speculation, permits, and industry chatter. The things that aren't confirmed but are definitely loud enough to talk about. But let's talk announcements first.
Yes, it has been an interesting quarter for announcements.
Yes.
That's a
So,
lot happening.
There's a lot. So
Yes.
let's just jump right into the big one.
Oh, no.
Hmm.
Oh.
Well,
Do we need
Disney,
to ease her into this?
We need to ease her into this. Disney has officially announced the biggest update to Carousel of Progress in more than 30 years. Beginning on July 6th, the attraction will close for a major reimagining that is expected to reopen in 2027. Now, we knew about the audio animatronic of Walt Disney and the final show scene changes, but Disney dropped a bomb on May 28th that every scene will be updated. Now, the attraction story will move through 4 updated areas. The first is going to take place in the summer of 1969 as the family is watching the Apollo 11 moon landing. Then we jump to Halloween 1985. And then we're going to go into New Year's Eve 1999, the precipice of the new millennium there. And then finally, guests are going to travel to this reimagined future scene featuring some like advanced robotics and space travel vision kind of the future that was inspired by some concept artwork from Disney legend John Hench. And Disney says the update is designed to keep the attraction relatable for modern audiences while preserving the optimism and spirit of progress that have defined the attraction for more than 6 decades. And just to be clear, the Sherman Brothers' iconic song, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, will remain a central part
Phew.
of the experience.
Well, thank goodness for that.
The one thing they're keeping.
I know this group has a lot of thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I'll let Jenny go first since this is her beloved.
Yeah, this one was a little bit hard to swallow at first, I will say. I wasn't crazy about it, but I have come around. And I think a big part of it is, reading what other people are saying. And the big reminder from a lot of people is that this attraction was not updated in so long that it began to feel like a museum. And sometimes that makes it feel more untouchable to the point where when it finally is touched, it's like, whoa, no, what are you thinking? And so I have kind of come around to it. I would say maybe if I have one, I don't know if I'd call it a critique, maybe one concern, I would say I feel like the years are a little close together for what they are. 3 scenes in a 30-year span, I do feel is a little close. So, but I'm excited to see what they do, how they portray it. And, I think they're going to do great things.
How long is the time span? I'm blanking on it now.
Well, right now it's like every 20 years. So turn of the century, 20s, 40s, and then today.
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah. I guess that's going to be a lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long ride. Maybe we'll get extra minutes.
And Jenny, you made me think of 2 things. First of all, folks, she has come around a long way from the day that we learned about this.
You didn't want to hear what I was thinking the day of, or what I was telling.
She took the day off work. She took bereavement. It was a dark day for former Carousel of Progress cast member Jenny. Now, what I want to say about the decades being close together, I was listening to Lou Mangello talk about this on his podcast, and he brought up a good point that when we think about when this attraction came out, and this version of it specifically was more of the, into the 90s, but even before that, we're covering decades that grandparents, parents, and children could all kind of relate to at that time, to where, if this was the 60s or 70s when you were watching this, a lot of grandparents had been born in the 1900s and the 1920s and 40s and remembered these things. And the parents were, coming into the 40s era, and they were starting to recognize things. And so what what they were saying was something along the lines of, now we're pushing it out to where now grandparents are going to be the ones that were alive in the 60s and can say, I was there watching the moon landing. And that's the idea of what it should be, is that the generations that exist now should be able to watch it and have that feeling to kind of be proud of what their decade was with their grandchildren who are with them. And, we are now kind of at that age where we'll really relate to the Y2K scene, for instance, and say, we remember that, we were there, we saw it happen. So it kind of gives us some buy-in, but also keeps it vague enough to where it can still cover the generations, but it's the older ones have died out, unfortunately. So it's just, that's where we are.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time for them to do this, though, because obviously there's so many big changes and like some of the previous staples are starting to go. But to go back to what Jenny said, that it almost becomes a museum where you don't want to touch anything. Tomorrowland has felt like that a little bit, where there's like probably not a ton of liberty or things that they want to touch around or move, because that is that feeling of like, no, this is the, original place. This has so much meaning and everything to it. So it's hard. But I feel like this is the best time to do it. We're seeing it with, obviously Muppet Vision is no longer with us. Obviously, Rivers of America. So I feel like it's a good time for them to make this change. It kind of goes really easily with this brand new, I guess, state of Disney.
Yeah. And that's a good point, because I think the longer something becomes a museum piece, the more at risk it puts it to be gutted entirely.
Right.
Whereas it's right at that line where if you kind of kept it going as is for another 10 to 20 years, it runs that risk of getting the Tom Sawyer Island treatment, where it's so far gone that it's only nostalgia that's driving it from the people that have been there. But now they're actually investing in it. They're putting a full, Imagineering team on this. And I wouldn't want to be that team, because, this is one of the most precious pieces of the Magic Kingdom. And so it kind of gives me hope that they're actually investing in it to give it new life, rather than take it out and use that prime real estate for something that could be some new e-ticket with some really high performing and popular IP. So, yeah.
And Jenny, be happy. I would have loved something like this for the Great Movie Ride, and so that it could still
That's
exist in
true.
some way.
That's
So at
true.
least you still get to experience it, which is a whole
Mhm.
new nostalgia that you'll build.
Yeah, it's still here. So yeah, like I said, it took a while to come around, but I kind of read from a lot of people who were very encouraging, and that helped me, kind of also put in that mindset of, this is a good thing. It's funny because it's the Carousel of Progress, and yet I'm not the best adapter to change. So
That's the understatement of the year.
Especially when it's like something close to me,
It's a very slow carousel, so that's good. That's
It
how you are.
is.
You're slowly moving into the future.
I'm getting there. I know I'm gonna love it, and luckily we can always go back and watch the old version. So I mean that's the great thing that we have that there. But no, I think Stephen, you brought up a great point. It's either you get to a point where you have to let it go completely, or you update it and you can keep it. And so I'm glad we are keeping it.
Yeah, it's kind of like your phone. I think you've had it since 2008.
Oh my
and
goodness.
so
Hanging on.
it got to a point where you can't update it anymore, so you had to get a new one.
Oh no, Jenny's never coming back on the show again.
I only upgrade when I'm forced. So
That's right. That's right. And here's an example of that.
Here we go.
All right, Katie, take us to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, well, let's talk about another location that killed the nostalgia and brought in something new. So I'm excited about this one. So Disney has revealed new story details for Monstropolis, the Monsters Inc. themed land, currently under construction at Hollywood Studios. So according to Disney, the land takes place during a citywide celebration called HUMAN, Human Day, which stands for Humans Understand Monsters Are Nice. The event marks the first time that humans have officially been invited to Monstropolis following the events of Monsters, Inc., where Mike and Sully discovered that laughter could power the city more effectively than screams. Where have I heard something like this before? Well, as part of this special event, guests will enter the city as honored human visitors, exploring Monstropolis, meeting its residents, and experiencing local entertainment while learning about monster culture firsthand. Disney also officially confirmed that Harryhausen's, the iconic sushi restaurant from the original film and one of our best episodes this season, will be part of the land. And while most fans expected the restaurant to appear in some form, this is actually the first official confirmation that we've received from Disney. The Globe Theater and additional themed storefronts and dining locations were also confirmed. And now I have to point out that this whole humans visiting Monstropolis for a special event concept sounds eerily familiar to our regular listeners. Back in episode 8 this season, My Harryhausen's project was built around the exact idea of humans being invited into Monstropolis for a celebration. So Disney, thank you for being one of our regular listeners.
We're so glad you tuned in for that one. Happy to share.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, obviously, I love everything they've announced.
Yeah, right.
Sounds very familiar. Yeah, I love it. Can't wait. No, this is honestly, I think this is great news. I'm very, very excited. This also has me optimistic that maybe we'll get a little bit more insight or maybe some things at D23 around this. I think it's like exciting that we're moving forward and things are happening. So I'm curious to see if maybe some announcements will come or some more details will come.
I think so, and I'm hopeful. I want to find out more about what's happening with Pizza Rizzo. There has been some whisperings that it's going to be themed around two monsters that opened up a pizza shop.
Oh.
So it may still be pizza, but
Okay.
I'd love to hear more about that because it's kind of impossible to see it from the concept art, the way they have it angled. So I feel like we keep forgetting that exists. And we're going to get something good there. And then I also had this really random thought today, and I'm probably way off, but I just want to throw it out there just in case. But the size of the show building of Muppet Vision is rather large. So what if all this time it wasn't a show and they're putting some type of dark ride in there? Since I keep thinking about the fact that there's not really going to be a ride for kids there, since it will be a roller coaster. So I don't think that's going to happen, but I just thought of it today.
What if they moved the ride from Disneyland and put it in here?
That could work.
I mean, this is highly unlikely things, but it would be. I was just reading on Reddit people being sad about it going soon. So I just thought,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we'll just move it on over.
Yeah.
That is an older ride at Disneyland, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll bring it
That's
into the new. We'll help them.
Mhm.
We'll come up with a new idea.
Yeah.
We'll redesign it, Jenny.
Yeah, there we go. Because I think the one at Disneyland doesn't have the old audio animatronics where they just kind of move.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
they're very static.
Yes,
They're like on
very-
a
yes.
turntable rather than
Yes.
like, they
Yeah.
drop Mike Wazowski on a lazy Susan and spin him around. That's what we're getting in the brand new Monstropolis.
It would be great if they didn't change any of it out. Just swap the whole parts over.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
And then the lazy Susan falls in front of him and he's behind it because that's what happens to him every time.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Oh my
Well, we're
gosh.
going to talk more about Monstropolis when we get to the construction section because there is a good amount of movement there as well. So we'll come back to that.
And heading over to the West Coast, Disneyland Resort has announced several changes coming to its Halloween season and Oogie Boogie Bash in 2026. The biggest change is the debut of Madame Leota's Swinging Wake, a new haunted mansion-inspired street party coming to Disney California Adventure. The entertainment offering will feature Madame Leota hosting a seance alongside happy haunts, ghostly dancers, and appearances from the Headless Horseman. The new offering appears to be replacing the Frightfully Fun Parade for this year's event. While Disney has not officially announced the parade's departure, it was notably absent from this year's entertainment lineup. The change is likely tied to ongoing construction of the new Coco attraction, which has disrupted portions of the parade route backstage. Oogie Boogie Bash will also expand to a record 33 event nights in 2026, while fan favorites like Villains Grove, immersive treat tales, and rare character encounters are all set to return.
I would really like them to expand this event to 365 days so that I can
We
finally
know.
attend it.
Can they at least expand it to the days we're there? That's
Yes.
that's really
Yes.
all we're asking.
Come on.
Is that too much?
I think this entertainment change is because they've completely bulldozed the parade opening and entry port where which used to come out by
Well.
with a new Coco area.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why we're
Gotta
seeing
make
this
room
new
for
street
progress.
party. But yeah, that's progress.
No, I think it's a fun. It sounds like a fun change and a mix of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think it sounds like a good little parade. We'll see how it is and how
Yeah.
large it is. But
Yeah, we love a haunted mansion theme anything, even if
Yeah.
it's at the wrong park.
yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'll watch it from YouTube.
I know that's how
One
We have to
day.
do that a lot, Katie, because me and Steven don't even live close to
That's
one.
true.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Awkward.
Jenny and I just turn on those POVs and sit at our computer and
Yep.
like lean left and right.
And wish
when
we're there. Yes.
But I do that anyways, and I live
Yeah.
here.
Oh, that's true. It's too hot.
Never enough.
She ain't going out in this
That's
heat.
true. That's true. You won't see me till September.
Well, that's it for big announcements. Not expecting too much more this summer with D23 Ultimate Fan Event coming up in August, but we will do a full episode dedicated to our predictions in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, all three of us will be there. So let us know if you will be there too, so we can meet up with you and say hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've heard from a good amount of friends that they're also going to be there. So maybe we need to host an idiot meetup or something. But before we spend the next hour talking about D23, let's turn our focus to the boots on the ground and all the construction in full swing around the parks. And it looks like someone's already got her hard hat on. So take it away, Jenny.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Well, back at Monstropolis, Walt Disney Imagineering has released a new construction update video offering a behind-the-walls look at the new land. Senior Creative Director of Concept Design Scott Malwitz described the land as a fully realized monster city, where guests move through everyday urban spaces like storefronts, schools, theaters, and apartments, each reimagined with monster-inspired architectural details woven into the environment. A key story element, Mike and Sully's Walk to Work, brings guests through their daily route toward the Monsters, Inc. building. Meanwhile, the Doors coaster is rapidly taking shape, with the massive 103,000 square foot show building rising quickly and early track supports already in place, giving a first clear sense of the scale and layout of the attraction.
That's insane.
I mean,
Yeah.
that
That
thing
is
is
so
moving right
insane.
along.
I hope that this is This is like big dreams over here. But like, wouldn't it be so cool if this is their like kind of answer to Harry Potter, the Universal's land and everything? Because I feel like when you walk through like
Mm.
Diagon Alley, it's so like immersive and you go through the stores and you're just moving from one thing to another.
Yeah.
This is obviously a completely different theme. But like, wouldn't it be cool if that's what it's like and you feel like you can just move through the city and you're really part of the story and it
Oh,
feels way
yeah.
more immersive than just facade walls?
Yeah, I've seen people kind of comparing it to what they did with Zootopia Land
Oh,
in
Oh, neat.
Shanghai and how
okay.
it is immersive in that level, how it really feels like you've kind of stepped into their world where like things are all different sizes and it's all,
Yeah.
for monsters that are enormous and monsters that are tiny and monsters that are you-sized. And so and I've also seen that they're not just using the buildings that they have from Muppet Courtyard. They're like fully redesigning the facades of them to make it monsters. It's
Mhm.
not just this old New York street. Like they have monsterfied the buildings, put like little teeth on things and put horns on things, and like it's gonna be well done.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. And a lot of people have talked about kind of going back to Katie, with the feeling the pressure. And I mean, I think there were several years where nothing was happening. And now it feels like everything is happening and they are hitting the ground running.
Yeah. I cannot wait for obviously, I cannot wait for this, but I think everything about this just sounds I'm so excited. Like, I hope it
Yeah.
I,
lives up to reality, but
I think they've got something to prove.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I think
for
they're
for
on that
sure.
sure.
mission right now, and they're in that "we're gonna show you what we can do" era,
Right.
and that's what we want.
Yeah.
And
So
you
Like,
know
keep it up.
you know what's really lucky with that? Well, not lucky, but in the sense like Universal stepped the game up in terms of like Imagineering levels and how much thought and creation and all of this needs to go back into these rides. But with the whole new park, there's obviously operational opportunities that they're encountering for the first time. There's obviously, there's going to be expansions of this park, so it's not the size that they want it to be. Disney's lucky. They now have, well, not Disney's lucky. We're lucky, I guess, as Disney fans, because they have to compete with that same level of
Mhm,
Imagineering, but they don't have to deal with all of the new changes and issues that come with opening a park. So they
mhm.
just get to focus on this great stuff and get all this great publicity and just roll it out. Like, it's perfect for them.
Right.
yeah.
Universal, I feel like it's been a little not so great with, like, feedback of Epic as of late, but
And that is a big Disney difference. They've got
mhm,
operation and efficiency down better
Mhm.
yeah,
than anyone in the world, and so not having to think about that as, a question mark, but more of, "We know how to do this. We're gonna
right.
build
Yeah.
this that way and not figure it out after it's built,"
Mhm,
gives them an advantage that nobody else has.
Mhm.
mm, and I feel like they really do have something to prove because a lot of Disney Imagineers went to Universal, so this is
Mhm,
a great
Yeah.
example now of all of these massive, massive projects that are coming in, what this team is capable of,
mhm.
so
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Well, water has officially returned to the Magic Kingdom moat surrounding Cinderella Castle, marking the first completion of months-long repainting project that began earlier this year. The moat was drained during the refurbishment to allow crews full ground level access to the castle base, enabling work to progress from the rock work at the foundation all the way up through the spires. The refreshed color palette restores the classic grays, creams, and soft blues long associated with the castle, accented with gold detailing that highlights its architectural features while replacing the more recent rose gold and deeper blue tones seen in previous overlays. With the project now complete, the moat has been refilled to near full depth and once again allowing the castle's updated finish to reflect across the water, showcasing the full effect of the restoration and returning the centerpiece of Magic Kingdom to its traditional visual identity.
She's back.
She's
Yep.
beautiful.
She's done.
She's here.
She's home.
She's beauty and she's grace.
She's Miss Castle,
United States.
United States.
I love her.
Welcome home.
Yeah, that's a good little
Yeah,
improvement.
Yeah, we're
it
happy with
is. I
that
don't think
one.
I've seen a single person not happy with it. I,
No.
I think this
Well,
was.
I've been on Reddit, so of course you're going to find
Oh,
somebody out
Well,
there,
oh, well.
the pick-me's are out there. They're just trying to be
but
different.
overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Well, let's head over to Disney's Animal Kingdom as construction continues on Tropical Americas, which is steadily rising from the footprint of the former Dinoland USA. There are a ton of recent aerial photos from BioReconstruct on Instagram. You should definitely give them a follow. But they're showing vertical progress across multiple areas of the new land, including a lot of visible steel frameworks, a ton of new foundation work, expanded staging zones where there's, setting things up to bring in. And the future Pueblo Esperanza village layout is becoming increasingly legible from the ground, with distinct construction zones now forming for key guest areas, including the Encanto themed attraction, a new carousel, and surrounding infrastructure. But one of the most visible milestones is the continued progress on the future Indiana Jones attraction, where you can now see steel framing around the entrance that is clearly taking shape and connecting it to the existing structure of the former dinosaur building. And it's this large temple style facade that you can see it's pretty much fully in place. And they actually Bio Reconstruct also has pictures of kind of the prefab exterior pieces that show the actual like rock work of the temple that looks like they're just going to drop them into place and like bring them in with a crane and place them. So it's like almost ready to
Wow.
be fully formed. And there's a lot of discussion online circulating about this newly published Disney filing patent, and this very next gen project that has some environmental effects, and people are speculating that this is coming to Tropical Americas for Indiana Jones attraction, but they're not confirmed in any way. So we're going to keep that as out of our construction section, but we will come back to this for rumors. But elsewhere in the land, additional work continues across multiple zones, including the circular footprint for the carousel, which is fully formed there. And then the shell work for the Encanto attraction building. The building's pretty much enclosed at this point. So whatever they're doing inside, we have no idea. So it could be, taking shape in there. But you can actually see the layout of the casita is actually being built on the ground there. So people are saying that it looks like it is a full-size replica of the house. They're not using forced perspective on this. So it will be a full-sized casita based off what we're seeing now. So a lot going on there. It's moving quickly. We're hopeful for 2027.
This is another one I'm really excited for, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't think I would be at first, just because I was obviously a bitter Betty about dinosaur. But I'm really excited for this. This sounds really great. And I think the creativity that's going into this is very exciting to see. Like, I just think this is going to be a fun, bright colors. Just, I cannot
Yeah.
wait for Pueblo Esperanza.
Agree.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all remember when it was originally announced, it was very vague. So
Mhm.
it was kind of this like, it's going to be Tropical Americas. And that was about it. It was kind of all we were given. And so I'm like you, I wasn't super excited at first, but now I think this is going to be an amazing land.
Yeah. I can't wait to start like finding out more stuff about Indiana Jones ride. Like I'm really excited to learn more about it. But then I'm really excited. Do you think we'll get any announcements with a lot of detail at D23 for these?
If I'm a betting man, and I don't gamble, but I'm going to guess we're going to get some more information on Encanto, maybe a little on Indiana Jones, but I think we've got more information about Encanto than we do about Indiana Jones, and I think they're going to kind of increase
Yeah.
that at the same
Yeah.
time. Like we'll get a little bit more. I think we'll find out what type of ride vehicle maybe is going to happen for Encanto,
Yes.
and maybe some type of loose storytelling around what Indiana Jones is going to be. That's my guess on those.
Yeah.
Maybe a restaurant theme or name.
Oh, that'd be
Oh.
cool.
That's good. I'm hungry.
Yeah. So that's my hope there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think Tropical Americas, you really can't go wrong. Even if you have no connection to Encanto or Indiana Jones, the culture itself is lively and positive and happy
Colorful,
and joyful. And I think they're going to lean into that heavily and give that kind of fiesta
Yeah.
feel that we don't get throughout the rest of the park, really. There's a seriousness to so much of Animal Kingdom. I think this is the party zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the party zone.
That's my guess.
No, I agree. I'm excited.
Well, construction continues to move forward on the upcoming Piston Peak National Park development at Magic Kingdom, where the most visible progress right now is the expanding retaining wall around the site. Over the past several weeks, new sections of the wall have gone up across the area near Diamond Horseshoe, with more concrete now fully set and taking shape. This wall is steadily outlining the edges of the future land and giving a clearer sense of where the new space will sit within this part of the park. Across the site, crews are also continuing major groundwork, with heavy equipment moving large amounts of earth as the terrain is shaped for the upcoming attractions, including the off road rally ride and second family friendly experience. Step by step, the retaining walls are starting to define the footprint of Piston Peak, and the scale of the new land is becoming easier to see as construction continues.
This is crazy how
Mhm.
how it looks.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see it from the park. And it's I mean, it's just dirt out there,
Yep.
which, it's a shocking sight
It is. But
if,
they wasted no
Yeah.
time.
they wasted no
No.
time leveling that baby.
Yeah.
And this retaining wall went up really quick and it's very tall. So I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures, but I mean, you can see it over the refurb walls that they have up. And it looks to me, and from what, everyone's speculating, is this is kind of the infrastructure for holding the water that's going to go around the outside of Piston Peak.
Mm.
So
Oh.
they had to do all of this first because if if they do it later, it's too late. So we're kind of getting the outline of what the shape of the waterway is going to be. And my guess is that the retaining wall, one side is the water and the other side is the inside portion of the actual attraction. So I think they're kind of
Mm.
starting to build the building there.
I just want to know more. Like, I just
Yeah.
wanna know, like, I
Yeah.
wanna know how intense this ride's gonna be. I wanna know how much fun
Hmm.
it's gonna be. Like, I don't know. I know that I think the Rivers of America kind of, like, overshadowed this, and people were like, "What are we doing with Cars Land and Magic Kingdom?" But I don't know. It seems fun. It seems like the renderings look so cool, and, like, they're
Hmm.
moving so quick on everything. So I don't know. Let's bring
And
it
Yeah.
on.
I'm an avid Cars supporter.
Yep.
It just celebrated 20 years.
Oh,
I'm very
really?
excited. Yeah, crazy that
Oh,
it's
wow.
20 years old.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
So I am all for it. I mean, I'm always sad to see something go, but I am
Mhm.
excited to see what they're doing with this and the fact that it's not just creating another Cars Land like in California. Like we are getting a
Yeah.
very unique
Yeah.
take on cars, and I think it's super creative. And this is the kind of thing I like to see from Disney. So keep moving on it.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time how we like when we don't mind like having the same theme or the same like concepts in different parks, but it's always really cool when it's something different with it and to
Mhm.
see like what could be done with that IP or that idea from it. So yeah, I think it's really cool. Then you'll be able to see such a clear contrast between the parks and what
Hmm.
kind of different visions that they had at different times. So it'll be very, very neat
Yeah,
to see it come to life.
that's
Yeah.
cool. It's a good point. It kind of creates a timeline
Hmm.
inside the park.
Mhm.
And to me, it almost kind of expands the world of Cars in a way that it's like almost a Cars 4. Like they
Yeah.
created a
Yeah.
movie, but
It's
it's the
true.
land, and we're getting a movie out of creating something very, very new for the world of Cars.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, back over at Hollywood Studios, the magic of Disney animation is coming together quickly. The outdoor courtyard and the Walt Disney Studios area has reopened, and the attraction itself, the actual building, will open later in the summer of this year. So they haven't given an official date on that. It seems like it's a lot of moving pieces in there.
Mhm.
You've got Olaf Draws, you've got the Alice in Wonderland kids play area, you've got character meet and greets, you've got Once Upon a Studio movie. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, so I think they're trying to pin it all down and make sure everything's working properly before they let us in. But um,
The
It'll all
exterior
open
looks great
together.
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think once the I that's not confirmed, but as far as it seems right now that it should all open together
Oh,
later this
wow.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jenny. Yeah, the front looks really cool.
Hmm.
Mhm.
They did a
Yeah.
nice job with it.
Yeah, the way the characters are just free roaming in there is so perfect
Mhm.
for what they're trying to do there, because if you think about the concept art, it had all these characters exploding out the front door, and that's actually what we got. You
Yeah.
see Goofy
Yeah.
out there, Pluto's running around. I've seen Mulan like sitting on the lawn, like talking to
I
kids and
know,
telling
that's
them
really
stories and
neat.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like they're all kind of at work and they're just
Mhm.
like on break or something, coming out of the animation building just to hang out with people or just
Yeah.
some time off. And it's like they live there and they came out to see us, which I think is super, super cool.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's one of the coolest things about Disneyland is
Hmm.
like the
Right.
characters are just free
Mhm.
roaming. You can see them like that. So finally we have an experience like that for us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
time. And
agree.
I think it's important that it is where it is. It's kind of a controlled area,
Yeah.
and it's not a hugely heavily populated area. It's not some
Mhm.
e-ticket
That's true.
experience back there, so it's not going to be overrun with people. So the characters have the flexibility to be a little bit more free and
Mhm.
less,
Yeah.
secured by their character attendants. But yeah.
A- And what I like too is this feels like a good example of Disney listening to fans
Hmm.
and bringing something back and then enhancing it. Because I
Yeah.
don't know of too many examples of that. It seems like a lot of times now it's, rip it out and put something brand new. But this was something that was very, very missed by fans. And I just love the way they said, okay, that worked in the past. We took it away for a while. We're going to put it back and we're going to make it even bigger and better.
Right.
And I'm really excited for it. Feels like kind of almost like we're going back in time, but we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And that's a
carousel of progressy of them.
yeah, I was thinking of that as she said it.
Hey.
But yeah, that's a great point. Like, never in a million years would I have expected this was the direction they were going to go
Yeah.
with that area. I thought for sure they were going to use that space for. First, I thought it would be Monstropolis, but then I thought they're going to, bulldoze this sucker and give us something that's,
Mhm.
gangbuster. But I love it. It kind
Yeah.
of reestablishes the roots of what the park is about in a modern way, like you said. It's not
Right.
just nostalgia; it's forward moving.
Exactly. Now, if they want to add back Earful Tower, I wouldn't complain.
We'll all take
So,
that. Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
Oh man. Well, off to my other favorite home at the Haunted Mansion in Magic Kingdom. Exterior refurbishment work continues with Scrim still covering much of the building throughout 2026. The long term coverage reflects ongoing maintenance and phased exterior work on the facade and surrounding structure. While Scrim levels have shifted over time, the attraction remains largely wrapped as crews continue to work behind the scenes. There's no official indication that the exterior is expected to look significantly different once work is complete. This appears to be kind of a standard refurbishment focused on the upkeep and restoration rather than a redesign or reimagineering of the building's look. Overall, the extended scrim coverage simply points to continued maintenance work. Let me redo that. Overall, the extended scrim coverage simply points to continued maintenance work with the existing design expected to remain intact once the refurbishment is finished.
Yeah. No, she's
Hmm.
just been under wraps for a minute, so
Yeah, that
I
wasn't a
just
fun update.
I
That was
know.
like,
It's not very fun. There's not really much to say there. But the reason I included this is because I wanted to confirm that it's not going to be different. Because I think there
yeah,
was some concern over what are they changing back
Yeah.
there, and it seems like they're not.
we're just
So
nervous up in here.
yeah, we get
Anytime there's
nervous
renovation
Yeah.
or construction,
they
we're like, who's
right,
going?
especially when they're touching a legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
And that
so
side
we
of the park
hands
is getting a
off.
lot of work right now.
it
So,
is right.
That's
I mean, and
true.
I think that could be another part of it. They're trying to spruce it up because there's going to be a lot of eyes in that direction.
yeah, that's
So
true.
they want to give her the paint job she needs.
She
Mhm.
deserves it. She's a
Mhm.
good old girl.
Yeah. But also, on that side of the park, there is a major, major thing that we need to talk about.
What is it?
Disney has confirmed that the possums will be returning to
Oh,
Big
thank
Thunder Mountain
God.
Railroad after being removed during the refurbishment. I know.
This,
We've all been sweating over this one.
you know what? This is as big of breaking news as the
Mhm.
time that the turnstiles were removed
Oh.
from
Correct.
the People Mover.
The people mover. Yep.
This might not be as big as that, but yeah.
You're right. This is second
True.
tier to
True.
that. But yeah, I this should be front page. Actually, we
Yeah.
need to be posting more about this.
Should
but
we just
yeah,
redo the reopen to this?
actually, let's just start over and
Okay.
just this is the whole episode. We've got a lot of thoughts. Well, yeah, these iconic little critters, they did not pass the modern ride clearance test, and that's why they were removed. Which is interesting that
Oh.
they'd been there all this time
Wow.
and we were not operating under modern
Oh,
ride
wow.
clearance testing. But Imagineering says they are expected to make a comeback once the adjustments have been complete. So In other
Oh.
words, the train is back, the mountain's
Oh.
rumbling, and the possums are hibernating or something. They're
Prepping,
just doing a safety
collecting.
briefing backstage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do possums collect? Garbage. They're
Yeah.
getting their garbage
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that is big news.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad I could bring that
Ugh,
breaking information to you.
I still haven't gone on it yet. I feel
Well,
Oh,
what are
like
you waiting
a-
for?
I know.
well, it's summertime. You know, I go into
Well,
hibernation.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Me, like the possums,
You're
go
with
into hibernation.
Is that the possum in the background? Are you
Yeah.
hoarding them in your
Mhm.
home?
Yeah. Where?
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's my microphone, but yeah.
It's fuzzy.
Well, that is a wrap on major construction updates. And honestly, it's wild how fast things are moving right now. We are seeing real time progress across the parks, literally, and with major projects rising out of the ground that we just got concept art a few short months ago.
Yeah, and that's only what's visible. I can only imagine what we can't see and what we don't know for sure yet. But behind all of that, there is a steady stream of conversation happening online and across the industry. So now we shift into the rumors that have been circulating this quarter.
Yeah, and a quick reminder before we dive in, nothing in this section is confirmed. This is all unverified reports, speculation, and industry chatter. So think of this as the rumor mill, so not official announcements.
Yeah. So the first one, nerds lock in with me here. This is going to be like I'm pushing up my glasses here. There's going to be some engineering nerd stuff, but so don't zone out on me.
Bring it on, nerd.
Right. Now, as we mentioned earlier in the Tropical Americas discussion, there's been some online chatter about a newly published Disney patent that fans think could hint at where Imagineering is heading next. So, I'll try to simplify this. The patent describes a kind of shape-shifting show effect system. So, it's this physical structure that could rise up in a ride scene, form like a large 3D environment effect, like a tornado or some type of like rising terrain. Then they can project a visual onto it. Then it can kind of completely retract out of sight. So it's like some
wow.
system that comes out of nowhere, it does something and then disappears. So it's like this kind of hidden show element that can just appear, make something fully immersive, and then disappear. And there's no trace of it. So
That's cool.
yeah. It also outlines the possibility of these effects reacting to guests in real time. So wherever you are, it can adjust its positioning or movement or based off of what you're doing or sounds that you're making, or like it's going to react to us in a way.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy to think about.
Wow.
Now it sounds very, very advanced. There is no confirmation that this technology is being used in any current project. But because Disney regularly files patents, just exploratory. I mean, look at that Moana boat attraction patent that was filed 5-6 years ago that we still haven't seen any use for. But there's a lot of online speculation about it and what it could mean or how it could be used for major upcoming projects, including Indiana Jones attraction at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And when we talk about that, it makes me think of our season premiere where Katie created a giant bat monster. And I was thinking, what if that could be how it was used? It comes out, flaps at you, responds to you screaming at it, and then goes away. There's also talk that it could be used in Piston Peak in the Cars rally race, and then very large scale use for it in Villains Land because that is so far out, and we probably won't get a lot of confirmed details until later. So maybe this is something they're incorporating into a further out project. But once again, none of that is confirmed. There is no official link between these patents and any specific rider land, but it just really kind of seems very fascinating and kind of a look at potential future tools that Imagineering could be using, and hope we see it.
Yeah.
How long? I don't know if anybody knows this, but typically when something goes into patent, like I'm sure there's been preliminary models and things like that. Like, there's been some work that's gone into it. I wonder how far along the process, because obviously, like you said, not everything's going to be used for ride, and they're building it so they can expand on it later or whatever it may be. But I guess how long, maybe before or after a prototype of something like this is created, do they actually patent it?
That's a great question. Could this have been something they've been working on for 10
Oh,
years
yeah.
and
Right.
we're just seeing,
Finally
these
perfected it. And
right, these secret rumblings about it, like, for the first time? Or did they just figure this out last year and say, "Hold on,
Right.
throw this into one of our projects that we're working on. We can use this. It's not, we haven't released all the information, so we can add it to something." So,
Right. Yeah. Like, I don't know how patents work. Like, I don't know if you have to have it like physically complete, or you're
right.
just like, I have an idea. Like, I'm not sure how that works in that respect. So it'd
I
be
don't know, because
interesting.
I've seen where you can have products and like on them they say patent pending. So
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So
It's
maybe
very
this
interesting.
is just the start. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think how, like, obviously there's all of these great new projects that are coming, and like the shapeshifter, I'm instantly thinking just like the tropical Americas, and like her be in the Encanto house, like having that baby create the animals and make
Oh,
them
yeah.
Oh,
disappear
that's
and reappear
true.
and things like
Yeah.
that, or them transition into them. Like, that would be pretty crazy to see.
That's true. And it makes me think about our show specifically and how when we create our projects, we typically use technology that's available. And it makes me think about how Disney doesn't have to stick with that restriction because they can use technology that, one, they're
Right.
creating, and two, that they know about that we don't know about, and things that they've, bought into and have under wraps that we're not going to see for 5 to 10 years. And it makes me think of what Abu Dhabi is going to be like when that eventually opens. Like, how much stuff do they already have in mind as they're in the early stages of planning, saying, we've never deployed this into the parks in any way. We maybe never had the budget for it. We never had the opportunity for it, but now the gates are wide open for us to use it. And it's really cool to think about what we're going to see 5 years from now. And when we're doing this show in 5 years, which we will be, what what kind of new things we can add to our projects that people can reference immediately, say, oh yeah, like that projection system that they had for Encanto. So there's a lot of cool things coming, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I got to say, after that, we almost didn't include this because it was so small, but it keeps popping up everywhere online. There has been renewed speculation about a possible third Disneyland park after some recent permit activity around the Toy Story lot. However, Disney has already clarified that the work is tied to minor infrastructure and maintenance under the Disneyland Forward plan, and it's not related to any theme park expansion. Still, it has taken on a life of its own as fans connect the dots way beyond what is actually there, because we're Disney fans, and that's what we
Of
do.
course, that's what we do.
They taught us to use our imagination.
That's right.
It's their own fault.
We're gonna think the craziest thought.
Yeah. Do you think the company loves when there's all this kind of speculation, or do you think they get annoyed by?
I think they love it.
I think so too. Any publicity is good publicity, right?
True.
I also wonder if they drop breadcrumbs that are completely misleading
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I
Oh,
do.
I'm
to
sure.
make us go down a rabbit hole of something to distract us from what they're really doing.
That's I didn't think about that. I bet
Right.
they are.
Not necessarily lies, but things that, somebody overheard, that somebody just leaked, that didn't make any sense, that was just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's just silly. And then someone ran with it. So I just wonder.
Yeah.
I think they do.
I
I
think so.
definitely, I remember when they were building Epic and they would have these really cool videos, and it was like random accounts were posting this of like whatever they were getting. And it was like, there's no way this random account is getting this. Like, it had to be like,
Yeah.
oh, we got this special thing. So there's no way Universal wasn't dropping it. So I 100% think they do these little things and try to healers, or they try to point people in the wrong direction.
Right.
And start
It's
some rumors
both ways
elsewhere.
to get a little nibble on it. Like, oh,
Mhm.
people are hating that. Let's change it before we announce it.
Quick, abort.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kill the third
But,
park.
I have to say, I think this is not happening.
No.
I don't think we're
No.
getting a third park at Disneyland
No.
anytime soon. So
It'd be tiny.
fun to dream.
Yeah.
It'd be as big as my closet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge. It's bigger than my whole apartment in New York. So
True.
we'll take it.
True.
And speaking of rumored new parks, we're bringing this rumor back for a second consecutive State of the Kingdom because honestly, Drew the Disney Dude put it back on our radar last week and evidence just keeps piling up. Since we last discussed it, reports of additional hotel development around the Shanghai Disney Resort have continued, and Disney Experiences Chairman Josh D'Amaro specifically called out Walt Disney World, Disneyland Resort, and Shanghai Disney Resort when discussing major future capital investments. That caught the attention of a lot of Disney fans and industry watchers. And honestly, the numbers speak for themselves. Shanghai Disneyland was the fifth most visited theme park in the world in 2024, making it one of Disney's most successful parks globally, despite being a single gate resort. Now, tomorrow, June 16th, is officially Shanghai Disneyland's 10th anniversary. So there's a chance we could hear something then. If not, D23 could be another possibility. Or Disney could continue playing the long game and say absolutely nothing. But between the resort's incredible success, the continued infrastructure expansion, and all the rumors swirling around the property, the second gate feels less like a question of if and more like a question of when.
Has I'm trying to remember all the things that have been announced and what's going where. Has Shanghai gotten anything that's a large capital that would warrant somebody advertising it as a large capital investment, like to the level of Disneyland?
The only thing I can think of, so there's a couple things going on there. They're building 2 new hotels, which
Okay,
I mean, right
but
now,
why are
but
you building 2 new
exactly.
hotels?
Yeah. So I think people
True.
are
Yeah.
seeing this as the infrastructure set up for, because they don't need
Okay.
those 2 hotels
Right.
with one gate. And they're adding on the Spider-Man roller coaster, which I think it's gonna come with a type of like mini land offshoot, but I don't think it's like a full land.
Okay.
But those are the things that are really in motion right now there. So it's questionable why that would stand out, because think about
Mhm.
everything happening in Paris. They're
Right.
building a whole new Lion King area, and then that whole section isn't even done yet. So there's still a bunch of new rides in the kind of the walkway leading up to the bay back there. So there's so much happening,
Yeah.
and it all kind of seems even. So why would Shanghai be mentioned is my question.
I think you're onto
Yeah.
something here.
Yeah.
It seems suspicious.
Yeah, and I think it's inevitable. It's going to
Mhm.
happen at some point. I
Yeah.
think right now we're just more speculating, when is this announcement going to come? And it would be crazy if it happens tomorrow, just on their
Mhm.
10th anniversary, to say, here we go.
Yeah.
I think the people of China have responded so well to this park, and I mean, look at the numbers of it being the 5th most visited theme park in the world. Like, that's
And
crazy.
at only 10 years old.
At only 10 years old,
That's
right? In a
crazy.
place that isn't necessarily familiar with that type of theme park. Like,
Right.
they have latched to it, and to give them more is the only option, I think.
Yeah.
And I think another question is, what's it going to be? And there's a lot of speculation that it would be an Epcot style park.
Ooh.
wow.
So there's all these like fake renderings of what it could look like, with like a very modern looking spaceship Earth that's kind of floating in the air.
Oh.
I don't think any of it's real, but it would be interesting if they tried
Yeah.
to do a modern day Epcot.
What if they didn't and they just brought in like the 1970s, 80s Epcot?
It's just as it was
Yeah.
in
Yes. I would love
1982, the
that.
day it opened.
Yes.
Horizons, World of
Goes
Motion.
with our new Monsters Inc. ride we're
original.
getting.
Yes.
Or if they did a world showcase, how would they say America? Like, what would they?
Right.
What would they put us
just,
as?
It's like a random
Oh.
pavilion on the side, and how do they
With some hot
characterize
dogs.
us?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be
Must have the hot
exciting.
dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel I know you really like Shanghai, but like
Mhm.
is it like could you spend multiple days in one park?
I would say yes, because I have. The first time I went, I spent 3 days there. And the second time I went, I spent a day and a half, because I had a half-day ticket the first day. And there's still a lot of stuff I haven't done. So collectively, I've spent 4.5 days in a single park, and still feel like there's a lot of stuff that I would do. And I'm not going to say it's my favorite park, because I think when people ask me that question, now that I've been to all of them, I don't think I have an answer to that, because they're all so different and have their pros and cons. But I will say that park has some of the best attractions in the world.
Oh,
And
Wow.
I think that itself make them so re-rideable that you
Mhm.
can spend multiple days there.
Nice.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
See what happens.
So I'm hopeful. And so as soon as they announce it, when we get an opening date on that, we're planning a group trip.
Let's go.
Yep. All right. That was a lot.
Mhm.
that is all we've got for rumors. But that wraps up all of the biggest Disney news updates and rumors that we've been following this quarter. And it feels like more than I even realized when we said it out loud. Like there's a lot happening. I remember when I sat down to put this outline together, I was kind of like, I don't know if there's much to say. Like, I think everything's just kind of the same stuff moving
No
forward,
way.
but there's a lot
Yeah.
happening and quickly.
It really is. And I feel like every time we do one of these, it becomes even more clear how much is actively changing across the parks at one time.
Exactly. And that's what makes these episodes so fun. Getting to step back and look at everything from construction updates to announcements to the rumors that start shaping where things might be headed next.
And we will keep our State of the Kingdom updates coming each quarter. So there is plenty more Disney news to dig into as we continue through 2026. But next week, we are back with an award-winning new original project. Hint, hint.
Oh.
So we will definitely see you then.
Yes, stay tuned for our next wave of project episodes coming over the next couple of weeks. But you don't have to wait a full quarter to get back into rumors and speculation with us, because next month we will be doing a D23 predictions episode leading up to our trip out to Anaheim in August.
And honestly, we are really excited for that trip.
Yes.
Getting out to D23, being on the ground, seeing everything firsthand with our Disney crew. This is our Super Bowl. Get out of my way. I need to get there immediately.
That's right. She's getting a hot dog and she's heading to her seats in the stands.
Get me there.
Go team.
Donald.
Team Donald over there.
Team Donald.
Well, thank you so much for listening. And as always,
If you can dream it,
you can probably see it behind a construction wall right now.
Or you can make a podcast about it. Bye.
Bye.
bye.